All right, everybody, welcome back to the show. This week's show, we back up and cracking halfway through the midway point in the NFL, and we're here to discuss it. This is my boy, this is Lex, your boy M. We're here to get with you and just talk about sports. So again, thank you for following us. Thank you for everybody who's been purchasing the merchandise and hitting us on our social medias. Again, everything will be in the description as below. So let's just get to it. Week 8 of the NFL. I think the game that everybody was mostly talking about was the Steelers versus the Ravens. Um, I was just, I something about this game. I was actually not impressed as much with Pittsburgh as I was kind of more disappointed in Lamar Jackson. Not that he really played bad. His fumbles were out of control. The fumbles were out of control. He had one fumble. He just lost it on his own. He was just holding it by himself. He got it back, but his fumbles really cost them. And again, the last fumble of the game. But his turnovers were not that good. We're holding him back. And
Mm.
I saw people saying that, yo, that can he really win a game versus a good team? Because he's awesome against trash teams, but if you're good, he has a terrible record if you're against good teams. That could just be because I think they just prepare better for him. But Pittsburgh just I still can't put a foot on. I don't. I think I have an example. I think I know what's wrong with Pittsburgh, but I don't know what you think, man.
You on your I don't know what you would call this in a normal thing planning sheet, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
You say I still don't believe in Pittsburgh. I don't believe in Pittsburgh. I don't give a crap about Pittsburgh. You know why I don't believe in Pittsburgh? Look who they beat. New York suck. Denver not trash, but whatever. Houston trash. Philly weird and trash. Cleveland so down, but I'm gonna say trash when they played them. Tennessee, all right, that's a decent team, and now they beat Baltimore. So really, they're like, they're like that Jay Diss was like when you talk about Nas, you got one hot album every 10-year average. But they beat one good team and that's 8 team schedule, and that's so lame. Like I'm not impressed by that. So I mean they doing, but look, wait, but check this out. Here's the rest of the schedule: Dallas win, Cincinnati win, Jacksonville win, Baltimore again, Washington win, Buffalo, yo, they could go. I mean, they're not gonna go 16-0, but they can go like 13-3, easy, off of the strength of the schedule. And I'm
I
not
think
impressed.
they could go 14-2, even 15-1, and I only
Mm,
give them one, and I'll give them on the strength that I expect one division loss from them.
check this out.
Now,
I think they're gonna lose against Cincinnati. You
yeah,
giving Joe Burrow time? You giving Joe Burrow
I give
time?
them
Like
that
he's that
one.
kid. That kid, nice.
This is my thing about Pittsburgh. Just like when JC said one hot line and one hot album, one hot album.
You don't even know the line. Don't do it. Just go
Yeah,
ahead.
what he
Just make
said.
your
Yeah,
statement.
I can't. I
One
haven't
hot
heard turn. Well, I haven't
one
heard
hot
turnover
line
years
every
every
10
10.
years album, and that's
No,
so lame. Okay.
no, you have one hot album every 10-year average.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So
but to me,
yeah.
he's like just like this with Pittsburgh's record. It's exaggerated.
I agree.
Pittsburgh
Agree.
issue.
100%.
Pittsburgh's issue, honestly, is that so unlike what Casey did to the Jets. When you have a good team and you're really good, you blow out the trash teams. And they blow out everybody. It's getting tight games in the regular season versus other good teams. I don't trust you in the playoffs because I don't think that you are preparing yourself for a loss. When you lose, you know how to prepare yourself for the win. If they win them, they'll just be like, okay, they did this, this, and this. We know how to beat them. Versus if they lose now, I don't think if they go into the playoffs 15-1 at minimum 14-2, and then honestly, they can really do that with the way their schedule set.
Mhm.
These tight wins, Baltimore they barely won. Tennessee they barely won. And they
Mhm.
gotta blow one of them out to show how they're legitimate. Kansas City, set B more on fire. Everybody know Kansas City has the right has the has is a team that can blow everybody out.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh may have the better team, but better record. But to me, it's like that year when KD first came. KD was on the Warriors that second year, I think it was there, and Houston had the better record. But it was like, yeah, but we just know Golden State just got more firepower. So the same thing in the NFL. I just think I can't believe in Pittsburgh yet. And my boys who are all Pittsburgh fans, they're like, yeah, what can you say now? What can you say now? I don't trust them. They have wins, but nothing concrete. Nothing solidifies their wins yet.
You know, Pittsburgh. I mean, all right. I can't stand fans. Like, I just can't stand fans because I don't know. You lose a measure of objectivity, and no disrespect, everybody love the podcast. You're a fan, you're a fan, but it's like also I'm looking at my bicep. I was like, oh snap, I got a bicep now. I'm working out, doing something anyway. Like it's annoying to me because I think to myself, you lose that objectivity about talking about this, and you're so focused on your fandom that you like, oh yeah, this team, oh, you get defensive for stupid things and all that sort of stuff. Like we know somebody, a woman specifically is a Steelers fan, an absurd Steelers fan, and I'm just like, yo, y'all probably not gonna make it to the Super Bowl. You might, but you probably won't. Why not? Well, in these sort of reasons, right? Their defense is something scary. Their offense don't do nothing for me. And so,
And they got
I mean,
good receivers. And I like John Connor too.
no, I mean, yo, Big Ben is, Big Ben is like the staple. It's kind of, I appreciate the heck out of him. One of my favorite. I realize every time we do these, I always say how somebody is one of my favorite. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks, like of all time. Big dude. He's not great with
Big
women.
arm.
Just a big old
He
lumbering
has
oaf.
not he has not had a problem in years, I will say.
I mean, do you shake it? Yo, it's 2020, bro. You do that jump once, it stays with you forever. I'm
I
saying
will
though,
say
you want you,
he
you want
hasn't
your
been
daughter.
he hasn't been the last to get in trouble, so
Yeah, I'm saying
he's
you want
been
would you be okay with your daughter dating Big Ben when she's old
no,
enough?
no. First of all, isn't Big Ben married? I don't know, but I'll check on that. But
He was married when he had those look anyway.
that don't stop
I don't
nothing.
know.
I
Yeah, it
don't
really
trust
doesn't.
nobody around no football players, period.
No,
So
but I don't
let's
trust
get
him.
to
And you asked the question, and I could jump the gun, but like, can you? I don't trust Lamar either. Like, I mean, he's
yeah,
great. He's great, and he's young. He's still figuring out, like blowing out. I look at him and it's fun. It's fun, but I don't think he has good coaching. But I don't think he knows how to play within himself to slow down. Like he plays like an ADHD kid having a lot of fun. Like, yeah, let's do this. Let's run. Let's do these trip plays. Let me like fake a run
yo,
and flea flicker.
he was just on shakedown policy. He was out there trying to he was out there trying to be like Iverson on football field, just
So yeah,
shaking
so that's
people
him.
around.
Yeah, he don't know how to just like, yo, let's play within the script and let's make it easy. We ahead and we playing well. Let's not beat ourselves. Like he's still, because you look at how he played and ever since high school, he's just like, yo, I'm just having fun. Let's do this, and like
It's
instead of
good
like,
and bad.
no, it's bad. It's good when you're ahead and you're blowing, but when you play in a team in the playoffs, when you play a team in the playoff, they realize that that's what you do. So they capitalize and try to maximize on that free will and free ball and stuff, and make you make mistakes. The problem with like Pat Mahomes, him and Pat Mahomes, the same type of player. They really are. But Pat Mahomes, but he's more agile and more mobile. But they can make the same throws. They're the same sort of player. Like they really are the same sort of player. I don't even want to hear it. But I'm saying, but Pat Mahomes, he has more. Lamar Jackson has more mobility, and more athletic. Pat Mahomes is more like traditional who can move. He's very similar to like, let's say, Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers can move, but but Aaron Rodgers, like when it gets down to doing what you need to do, he's disciplined. I don't
Mm.
think I don't think Lamar Jackson is disciplined. Lamar Jackson reminds me of that one dude in basketball who was always so nice that you just let him do whatever you want to do. But then you play that one team that is actually disciplined and know what they're doing, and then let him do all that crazy stuff. But then when he makes a mistake, they capitalize in and getting it. Like that's what I get from him, and I was like that's why Pat Mahomes is so good because he is disciplined with a solid team around him. Just off of what I see.
My thing is that I think Lamar Odom reminds me of early Cam, but a step
Lamar
lower.
Jackson. You said
Yeah,
Lamar Jackson.
I'm sorry. Lamar Jackson is like it reminds me of what Cam was early Charlotte, but a step lower.
You saw
Like
how you
yeah,
remember how
but
long
Cam.
Cam struggled? Remember how long Cam struggled? Crying on the not crying, but like him little pouty faces on the sideline. So he figured out how to be disciplined with a disciplined coach in Ron Rivera.
But then even when he had him, he still wasn't. Even though Cam, I think is can be a pocket passer. He's shown throughout his career that he can do that.
Yeah.
But it's like uh, Jackson. I don't know if he's struck in a game where the team just stays in a defense where they're forcing him to throw. He will make the passes, but I do think he'll screw up on them 3rd and 6s trying to
I
run the ball, and then they'll set him up to fail.
if I had the time, Oh my God! If I had the time, I can guarantee you he can't defenses, and I would prove it because I bet the teams that he tears up runs a certain defense, and he knows how to tear those up. So when he sees a different sort of defense, he struggles.
Yeah.
And I think teams know that. Like teams know, like he still put up numbers against the other team, absolutely. But like I'm trying to figure out if it's. I think he struggles in a 3-4, and I don't know. And the reason why I say 3-4 is because 3-4, three back, four
Yeah.
line, whatever, right? But like, I think if you stop the line, there's no running game. He can't get us so far.
Mhm.
And at the same time, too, he's not. He can throw deep, but if you got decent and like safeties, you can lock that up top. But if you got the four run, the four rush, and you got and if you do a blitz, I'm telling you, I gotta do. I have a sinking suspicion. It's around the front seven. Why he struggles.
Hmm.
And
Well,
he does struggle with teams with like solid safeties because he ain't a deep. He could throw
that's
deep, but he doesn't
that's
want to throw
it.
deep. No,
That's it. Teams with
it's I,
solid safeties, get them.
because he can't. He can throw deep, but it's not his first thing. His first thing is like, let me make some magic. He's a James Harden of football. Let me make some magic. Pass. Like, that's what he wants to do. And so, but he got to drop back and do go in his. He might have struggle reading defenses. Like if he got to drop back in his progressions, it's going to be a check down or to the
I
tight end.
I know people hate when we jump between sports and try to explain somebody in football to basketball or something, but I see him more like Russell Westbrook, where he will have all the stats, all this that, but it's just multiple mistakes that could cost him that.
He ain't as he ain't as bad as
Just
Westbrook.
extremely athletic, shakedowns, do everything, bad stats, bad
Well,
numbers, but it's just something ain't there.
Westbrook is not crossing anybody. Westbrook isn't doing any like, oh snap, look at me and my handle. Westbrook is not. He doesn't have handle like that. You can fix your face all you. He does not have handle like
Okay,
that.
I'll say Westbrook has guy, and I've seen a
No, he
couple of
does
little.
not have handle. You don't look at Westbrook and say, yo, look at that, like that handle. He has a couple crosses a season that you say, oh, that's nice. He is nowhere on the near level of Kyrie, Jamal
Of course,
Crawford,
they're better.
but he's just faster than
Fast.
everybody, and his
Okay,
first step is faster. Just like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose ain't have crazy handle. I ain't look at
I
Derrick Rose and say, "Yo,
I
my
I
man, I
disagree.
never, you never in my long life have I ever seen Derrick Rose say, "Yo, my man got the ball on the string." He's just faster than everybody. All his dribbles are short. All his dribbles are quick, and he has one of the fastest first steps in the entire league. His play style, in terms of his handle, is very similar to Mitch, Mitch Richmond. No, 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 no. Who had the UTEP two step? Was it Tim Hardaway? Tim
Yeah,
Hardaway.
yeah. That's it.
Tim Hardaway had handle. You don't look at Tim Hardaway and say, "Oh, he crossing people off." He had the UTEP two step,
He
the same move.
that
It
was
was
a
the same.
cross. It was a killer crossover. That was
He
his.
had he had one thing. The UTEP two step. He did it. I don't know why anybody couldn't pick it up by now. It's like, oh, 1-2, come over, right? He never had. He couldn't go left. It's like 1-2, always to the right. But he was fast, and people didn't know how to handle it. Westbrook is fast. People know how to handle it. Kyrie will make you and your whole generation feel disappointed in yourself. That's what Kyrie does. Like, but
That's what
anyway,
LeVar can do that to, especially linebackers. I want to talk about the Saints and the Bears game. Tight game, really good game. Came all the way to the end. I put on this
I don't even know
the
who. I don't even know who won actually. Oh, the Saints won. Good. Okay.
the Saints won that overtime field goal. Uh,
Yeah.
what I'm getting upset about is that every week now it's becoming a discussion. Hey, Brees broke the TD record. Brady broke the TD record. I'm kind of tired of it. I just wish they would stop talking about it to the end of the season. I just wanted to get done with it now because each other are breaking each other's record every week. He throws two
Yeah.
touchdowns, he breaks the record. He throws three touchdowns, he breaks the record. It's going. Look, they might as well just end it now until the end of the season. And I don't see Breeze is going to stay there to keep trying to keep up with Brady for longer. So he might as well just call it quits after next
I
season.
just want, just go ahead and start Jameis. No, well, yeah, finish the season out. Start
I
Jameis
mean,
Winston,
the big
and
thing
just
is
be,
that they play next week. So
yeah, that's gonna
Bucks
be
and
it.
Saints. So that's going to be a crazy. If that ends up like I think what was that like 2 years ago when the Saints played the Giants? It was like 8 touchdowns, like almost 1,000 yard, 1,000 yard passes, something ridiculous. So if we get another game like that, that'll be awesome. But I give it to the Saints. I'm kind of shaking. I'm kind of weird with the Bears because how are the Bears having a loser record when they have with Nick Foles, but they were undefeated with Mitchell Trubisky. It's strange. Like they were undefeated. They were 3-0 with Mitch.
Because I don't even
I
want to
don't
get
know.
into that,
I
man.
don't know if Mitchell would have been just would have lost all these games too. But to me, I'm like, if they would have been at the same record, I think they could have just stayed with Mitchell Trubisky. To me, I don't think they were doing any better with Nick Foles. In all honesty, I
I
mean, I
don't know
guess he
why.
throws a better ball. He throws a better ball.
The Bears make me feel sad. Like just like really sad. And I mean, I don't know why. I'm trying to not quantify, but I'm trying to eloquently describe the sadness that I feel because it's like I don't feel bad for the millionaires who are playing a sport. I don't give a crap about that. But it's something about the fact that like you're an athlete and you try to play sports and you try to make millions of dollars and you try to build a legacy. But then you can think about the whole the mental health of the person. It's like, yo, Mitch was picked before some great quarterbacks and then his team doesn't have faith in him and it's like all these people were doing all this expectation in him and then they bench him and like you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be a tough dude to be okay with all of that. Because I think he's a bad quarterback. And I feel bad to say that because I'm not a good quarterback. I've yet to, I still, if I play, I'm good on defense in terms of sports. I don't understand. I just now, as an adult, figured out how to throw a football correctly. I never really learned how to throw. I just learned how to hit. But
Yeah,
like my man went to college, was touted, was paid millions of dollars, and he's bad. And I was like, man, I really
it
feel
could
for
be
him,
worse.
man.
I'll still say he's better than Tebow throwing a football. But
Yeah, but Tebow, nobody's looking at Tebow as the savior of the team, right? He wasn't picked ahead of people.
yeah,
Like
that's
people
true.
was like, Tebow, Tim
Yeah.
Tebow. Everybody loves Tim Tebow. Like even if you hate his self-righteous sanctimonious religious attitude, everybody loves Tim Tebow. Like he just seems like a cool dude who made your team win. Like you ain't expect him to be the, but Mitch, man, like God, I just want to like hug him. Like I just want to like I believe in you, Mitch. I know you're not watching this, but I believe in you. And that one day, you get a great job, like
Oh, we'll
being a.
we'll
But
send the clip to somebody to get that word out. So
I, I,
I wanted to
I,
get to. Oh, go
I want
ahead.
to be his friend. Yo, Tim Tebow is on the Mets. Like he's still doing okay. Like I just want to
Oh
hug
yeah,
him.
he's
Man. I
like
want
on the.
to be
I
his
think he's
friend,
on the Division 2 Mets squad. Or something.
bro. I want to be Mitch Trubisky's friend and just like not even on some yes man stuff. Like, bro, man, take
You
care of
got it.
yourself, bro.
Take care of
I got
yourself.
yeah, man. You be all right, man. Just take your money, go like build a farm. You know what I mean? And I love you. Like I don't even know because I know he needs to hear that. Like I can't imagine.
I think I've seen. I think what
You
the
know who
quarterback,
before?
the last quarterback, I felt like I understand what you're saying. Well, I felt like that was Derek Carr's brother David when he was in Houston, his first two
Totally not
years.
his fault. Totally
Yeah,
not his fault.
but he was
You know?
getting ran over like crazy, and by every defense that came after him, he was getting sacked like 7 times a game. And it was like he was like, "Yo, we need to tell you like you're hanging there. You're actually okay. We just wish you had a offensive line." So
Yo,
I understand what you're saying.
check this out. You know who the quarterbacks were around Tim Tebow? First one was Sam Bradford. Great quarterback, always hurt. And then
Is he really
after
that
that,
good?
I liked him. Hey, fantasy football, he saved my seasons. Then after Tebow, Jimmy Clausen. I didn't think he's that great coming out of Notre Dame. And then after
Who,
that, boom, 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 boom,
who's the
boom.
next?
And then you got the next quarterback, Colt Noy, who was nice in college. So anyway, just want to say, like Tim Tebow, like there wasn't a good quarterback that came out of that other than Sam Bradford.
And he's not even that good, in all honesty. But
I
all right, I
mean,
wanted to talk about
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Bills and Pats. The game of the week for the AFC. Uh, the reason I only put this up because now people are really saying the Bills are now a threat and they can really be taken serious. I don't,
They've
I
been a
don't,
serious all year.
I don't trust their wins. Similar to Pittsburgh, I don't believe in their wins. I don't. I don't. And yeah, Cam messed up. Messed up at the end. He tried. He
Yo,
tried. But
don't sleep on Miami. I don't really respect the Bills. I don't really respect that whole division. But It's the Bills or Miami for the taking because that Miami defense. I'm about to drop the team. I got the defense. I'm about to drop the Colts defense and pick up Miami.
Miami's.
They
You know,
putting up numbers. They've been good this year.
matter of fact, we'll skip right to that. Let's go straight into that. The Dolphins win in spite of Tua, because Tua wasn't even the thing in this game. It was Miami's defense just smacking golf up in the deep. At first, I thought, it looked like the Rams were actually going to do something. All of a sudden, you just see them just catch these catch these fins. So the Dolphins defense, I forgot what was their fantasy points numbers, but they did their thing on defense. Blocks, interceptions, everything you can want on the defense they had. And they just did the Rams over. So I honestly think Miami, I think, well, one, I don't know how long they're going to try to stay with Tua. I think they're just trying to make them take his time. But I think if they decide to go back to Ryan Fitzpatrick, they might be a serious, serious threat to actually win that AFC East. If they decide to go back to, because I think they're just trying to see what Tua can do for now. But if he has another 80 or 90 yard, whatever, he had like 90 some yards. If he has another game like that, he's gonna go back to the bench. That's not gonna last. So I think the Dolphins are a serious threat. I didn't know their defense was that serious. I don't see, and you know what's crazy? I think New England is New England is going through. I thought it was going to be a first half bumps and bruises. Maybe they can flip it around for the next half of the year. But I think Buffalo and Miami is going. It's taking it back to the early '90s versus the Jim Kelly Bills and Dan Marino days of not that quarterback skill, but it's going to be those types of battles where it's going to be Bills and Miami for the rest of the year for the AFC,
Hey,
EFC East.
fine with me. I mean, I don't really care, but
Yo, so my next point: did you see Dalvin Cook cooked the Packers? He grilled cheese them. He watched it. It was disgusting. He was shredding those guys. I was like, I thought Green Bay was. I'm not sure if this is just that, just a division because they know each other, division win. But Dalvin Cook looked like a serious problem out there.
Dalvin Cook, he's good, but it's like, because
I,
he's on a team that's like whatever, and he's in a division with the Packers. So it's like whatever. It's like Adrian. He's not Adrian
he's,
Peterson, but remember,
but he
everybody
has the Adrian Peterson award of just being that great running back in Minnesota. Where
on the yeah,
it's
like
like,
whatever.
yeah,
Who was the quarterback when Adrian Peterson was there? Adrian Peterson was there.
there's a
Exactly,
couple.
exactly, exactly, exactly. But no one really knows. Like, so it's like that. It's like if he had if Adrian
I'll
Peterson
tell
had a
you who
good
was one of them. I'll tell you who was one of them. Sam Bradford.
yeah, I know. But like if he had like he has a good team around him. Actually, it's not Kirk Cousins' fault. There's a good team around him. Like it kind of doesn't make sense why his team isn't good. I don't know.
I don't know.
Had
Their
good receivers.
defense
No,
is
no,
not defense.
they got
Yeah,
deep in the playoffs twice. So like, you know what? Nah, their defense was good, not this year. But like,
not
remember
this
that
year. Yeah,
they
that
beat the
year they
Saints.
beat.
They beat the Saints like twice to get to the play. I remember that. It's just like weird how
Mm,
it's like some teams are just not destined. Some teams are just not allowed to be at a certain threshold of good.
I think it's the defense. They need to get better corners and linebackers, or they need to just.
They have great linebackers. They had good. I don't know, man. It's something weird, but my heart is out for them.
I wanted to talk about the surprise good game was, uh, I guess I know NFL doesn't have buzzer beaters, but or walk off home runs, but this was the Broncos and the Chargers was definitely a win with no time left. That uh, goal line touchdown pass. That was crazy. Great game by
I,
the
I
Packers. I felt bad for Herbert, but he kind of blew that game with that second interception.
I'm happy
But
for those teams. I'm happy for both of those teams because they both need it. I'm glad to see that the Broncos actually have a decent quarterback because John Elway has a bad track record of drafting quarterbacks. And Justin Herbert is a monster. I
yeah,
am so happy. I am happy. Like it almost makes it seem like Melvin Gordon should have stayed, but like that is a solid team. Solid team. Their running game is really weak, and their defense isn't that good anymore. But if they don't need a quarterback. They don't need a quarterback. They don't need wide receivers. They need a running back, some defense, and a tight end because that team is
You give him a
solid.
serious tight end, that'll open the field even more.
Well,
And I think San Diego's biggest. I think San Diego would be like Kansas City, where if they have more offense, it'll make a really not that great defense seem better because they're up by so much.
I
And
remember their defense used to be good.
mm, back in the day, but
Oh, never mind. They do have a great tight end. Hunter Henry is a problem. So, nah, that team is scared. You need a running back. You let that team get a
well,
running
if
back,
they, I don't
yo.
think, I think with Herbert now they're not looking to run. I think they're
I
going to
know.
be airing it out. So I
Yeah,
think
no, but still though, but
his
yeah, it doesn't
stats.
mean you can't have a good one. Like yeah, give me. Well, you don't want to give me a running back who can catch. Let Le'Veon Bell get a Super Bowl so he can get a Super Bowl ring, and let Le'Veon Bell go there. A running back who can catch, get like 1,000 yards, and he'll be the next
We'll see
they'll
how
be the
long.
they'll be the Black Black Christian McCaffrey.
We'll see because we just saw him in the KC game versus the Jets. He didn't look too good, so we'll see where that goes.
Bro,
But
and I traded for him. I traded for Le'Veon Bell.
oh, I was
It was a throwaway. I really didn't care, and I'm winning. So, but it was like
mhm.
I traded for him and I traded for Antonio Brown just to see what happens. They're on my
we'll
bench,
see.
so I don't care.
We'll see what happens with them tonight. Talking about the game, the Monday night game tonight. Not being a homer, not being a Giants homer, but I knew that last year. Daniel Jones got his big game by beating Tampa Bay last year. Had everybody up and jumping crazy, thinking this kid was actually going to be legit. So, do you think Tampa Bay could? This could be another Giants upset against Tampa Bay. Could they blow it, or could this be another Jones coming out party?
No,
I will
I
say this.
proceed to go look at my phone again now.
I will say this. Jameis Winston was what caused Tampa Bay to lose last year in the game versus the Giants. It was clearly the Giants secondary pretty much gave Tampa Bay another chance to win. So I
Hmm.
still don't think Tampa Bay is still that good on defense. I still don't believe in their defense. I think they have so much offensive firepower that again, like many teams, so much offensive firepower that their defense really doesn't have to do much because so many teams are just on the offense chasing. But if Tampa Bay, first of all, I expect Brady to break the TD record again tonight, but
Yo, here's a hot take. Patriots are trying to tank so they can get a high draft pick.
not the first person to say that. I've heard it. People are saying that they might be doing this to get
They ain't gonna
Lawrence.
get they ain't gonna get Trevor because they gotta get they're 2-5 because they just put Julian Edelman on IR and they don't have a worse record than the Jets
But they can.
and
But now,
hmm,
so if the Jets get Trevor Lawrence,
they could trade.
no,
They're probably
no,
trade Sam Darnold, who isn't bad.
who the Patriots will gladly pick up.
No, they wouldn't.
Yes, they
No, they
would. I
wouldn't.
think it'll fit. I think it'll fit Belichick's game so perfectly.
Belichick does not know how to draft.
Big
Right?
quarterbacks.
He doesn't know how to draft. Period. All right, he doesn't draft well. So
He's more of a king at free agents.
yeah, he's good at free agents because he's seen. He doesn't know. It's not. People say, oh, it's the scouts. It's a team effort, but it falls under him as a general manager. His team does not draft well. His team does not scout well. His team doesn't know. But his preparation as a coach while evaluating NFL talent makes him pick up free agency well. So you're right. It would make more sense possibly to Cam Darnold, who he has tape on and understands how he handles NFL defenses, versus Trevor Lawrence. And I said that very intelligently and succinctly. And your children in the background as they're playing should appreciate that as well.
All right, so I wanted to ask you about now that we're in week 8 of the NFL. What has been your surprises for the good and the surprises for the bad so
Oh
far,
man, I
of
don't know.
players or teams?
Surprise, good game or just surprise? Okay.
Right, play.
Okay. All right. Mm, mm, no, I mean, surprise, good. Dolphins. Dolphins are surprisingly good. Um, no, the Colts are surprisingly good, 5-2. But I knew that what's his name coming there.
Philip
And the
Rivers is
Raiders.
going
I'm
to be.
sorry. And the Raiders. I got a couple of the Raiders. I'm like, yo, the Raiders are 4-3. Every time they're 500, I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. Um, surprising bad. That's a tough one. There's not the Patriots. I think a lot of people agree with that, and the Vikings. Like those teams should not be as bad as they are. Yeah, that's it.
My my surprise bad has been the entire NFC East. The
I just,
entire
oh,
NFC East.
yeah,
Everything about that completely completely trash can. They're dumpster juice. They have to go.
yeah,
The whole division has got to go. They have got to go. Everything that conference has been trash. I've been everything just dump it. They should not even be allowed to play. Um, my surprise good honestly would be Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh. I didn't think they were going to be this good. I saw them at second or third in the AFC in the North. I thought Cleveland was going to be the number two team in the NFC North.
mm,
But I thought it was going to be Baltimore again, and then Cleveland was going to step it up because I didn't think Pittsburgh was going to be this good this year. So my surprise good has been clearly Pittsburgh. I think, especially them being undefeated now.
I think yeah, undefeated is surprising,
Mm,
but now I'm not surprised at the record. By week
yeah,
eight, by week eight, you know who these people are playing,
yeah.
and so for me personally, I'm not like, oh well, yeah, I could go 8-8. I mean, I can go 8-0 doing that. So, um, yeah, man, I don't know. That's a good point. Yeah,
So all right, so and that we'll get into our NBA discussion. So, there's been the discussion around the NBA that some star players might try to sit the first month of the NBA if it starts around December. Good idea, bad idea.
no,
I feel,
play
I,
the daggone game. Like you were paid millions of dollars to play a sport. Like I get it, you're tired, but you're paid to eat right and be athletic. So you just say, "Oh, I'm tired. I don't want to play." How, man? I feel so bad and entitled saying this, but how dare you say I don't want to play? Oh man, I'm tired. Like you can't go into my job and be like, "Yo, man, it's the holiday season. Just you want me to start January 4th? Like maybe let me take a week off. Like I'm saying, like the year just ended. Let me get a week. Like I'm tired. I just closed the month out. Like I and people are going to say, oh, well, you're not an athlete, you don't understand. But like, yo, I get sick and
it
tired of
is,
us
yeah.
letting people get that. Oh, they're an athlete. It's different. You don't know that life. And like, you're paid to work out. You're paid to eat right. You're paid to do this. You don't see doctors saying, man, I just did a placement on a 30-year-old. I gotta take a month off. Like, no, they do the next one the next couple of days. Like, it's your job. Yes, you get time off. You got your time off. Go do your job again. You're gonna get breaks. Like, you get paid $20 million a year, ride a bench. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. It just get me mad. Like people taking time off, and it's like, oh, if players took time off last year, I mean, back in the day. Oh, like this. If you take time off back in the day, like if Jordan did what do they call it, load management back in the day, he would have lasted longer. That's bull. Jordan played a long time. Tim Duncan played a long time.
Um,
Karl Malone played a long. Players back then played for 20 years,
Stockton,
and
yeah.
and they're doing fine. Like you're not seeing players from like the '90s hurt. You're not seeing players from the '90s like limp over because they ain't play long enough. Like when Derrick Rose, who has glass legs, let's just accept that. Derrick Rose like, oh man, I want to be able to like walk with my kids when I grow up or something like. I want to grow up. I like, bro. I get where you're coming from. That means you try. Because if you one fall away from being a paraplegic, you shouldn't be playing anymore. But you want to keep playing because you got a forever Adidas contract, and you want to make sure you and your brother,
and
brother,
and
his
let's be
brother
honest,
gets
that's
like
all his known.
his brother gets like I think like $100 a year. That's a part of the contract.
Mhm.
Like his brother's. So I'm sorry, I just really have feelings about that. Like no one else has that, and yeah, you have the balls to say that, and people accept it because oh well, they're our athletes. That's why I can't stand fans like stuff like that. But I'm sorry.
Nah, my thing is that yes, I understand that the physical exertion that these athletes do take is heavy. I will say that I would say for them to more monitor minutes because I think more people would not don't like low management because of taking a day off, taking a game off, especially when you buy tickets. I would say that more players would more coaches should take more advantage of just how many minutes their players play, and use the time to let the younger players develop more. So if LeBron is, we use LeBron AD because those are big names, and they went deep into the playoffs. Same thing for Jimmy Butler and all of them. Use this time to early in the season to not play them as many games because they know in the end of this years that's when it really counts. So don't play them as many. Play them 20 minutes. Play them 15, 16, 15 minutes, and let your the next generation go. See what
Mm.
Giannis's little brother got. See what Tyler Hero is really going to become. So, let those next generation players really build ball out. But for all these other players, if you're older, obviously the older players, the Mellows, um, who else is an older player that really starts? Like JJ Redick don't really start. Those older players, the ones who are around 35 and up, those players like that. Outside of LeBron's pretty much the only one who gets majority big minutes. So most of those older players, they're not going to really see the bulk of this. So I say for other teams, if they're going to start this hard, I will say this: it does make teams that did not make the bubble more of a threat early. So I bet not hear nothing from Atlanta, nothing from Sacramento. Them boys better come in ready to ball because they're young and they had a lot of time off to really recuperate. So they better be ready for this. The next point I had on here was the Brooklyn Phoenix Suns. So the Suns, the Brooklyn Nets have now signed Mike D'Antoni to their coaching staff. So now they have Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire, and Mike D'Antoni on their coaching staff, and of course Jack Vaughn, who's their lead assistant, who so far is the lead assistant on paper now. Um, do you see this being an issue, good or bad?
I don't care. I'm sorry, fam. Sorry, fam. I don't really care. It's like, okay. I should have an opinion for the sake of what we're doing, right? I think that it's going to run like that team. They're going to try to be fast. That team is not going to be great defensively, but it's very fortunate that they have a good defensive anchor who's athletic in Jared Allen,
Jared
who can
Allen.
run the floor and block and stuff like that. Tarian Prince is a good defensive energy player. I don't say
They still got DJ, right?
yeah, I forgot about that.
Mhm.
And I think I'd rather start DJ. Oh, I'd rather start Jared over DJ.
Yeah, I would too.
I think personally these acquisitions, this coach is ruining the. Well, it's going to take this team to the next level. The team did what it needed to do to help bolster the brand of Brooklyn.
Hmm.
Now it's going to make it a star-studded location, but I feel that it's going to jeopardize the team's success because they're going to be a fast-paced running team and not devoid of defense, but they're going to drop tremendously in terms of like what you want to see in plus and minuses in terms of defense. I don't look at Kyrie as a defensive player. I don't look at Kevin Durant as a defensive player. I look at
He's
those.
okay. He's actually a pretty decent
He's
defensive player.
7 foot. He's 7 feet defending people who are 6'7", 6'6". So if you don't get 2, 3 blocks a game, you just stupid. So I'm not impressed.
Mhm.
And he's lanky, so he can easily
Yeah.
poke his hand in to get the ball or steal it too. So his defensive prowess, I think, is predicated on the fact that he understands basketball, not that he's actively trying to shut people down. If
Mhm.
that makes sense.
No, I
So
understand because people have scored on him.
yeah, so I'm not.
PG has scored on him. Of course, LeBron has had his way with him, but
Yeah,
plenty of
so I'm
people have
not. I'm
had
not
their way
impressed.
with Kate. Melo has,
Yeah, so I'm not
Melo's,
impressed by that.
but I
I
think he's
do,
not. He does
but
get his blocks, he gets his steals.
yeah,
He's
but I'm not impressed by it. And so like I don't know. I mean I don't understand Steve Nash. I don't know why he's the guy that they pick. Like he's great. He's good. Should have been a. It's like it should
Let's
have hired Mike D'Antoni, and then just like made
has
him.
Steve Nash as a shooting coach, like
You know what
the
I'm saying? And
assistant. Yeah.
like so when we talk about like the whole inequity in terms of coaches, black coaches, white coaches, and stuff like that. So all right, yeah, Steve Nash has been on the. He hasn't even been on. He's never even been on the bench.
Yeah, he was
He's
on the
been in a
Warriors.
He wasn't a bench. He was like a player
Oh, so
personnel
now
develop,
it's yeah.
right? But then you got Amari Stoudemire. He's coming on being an assistant.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's like so wait. So I don't know. Something about that is weird. I guess Steve Kerr. I guess they doing the whole thing with Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr had no experience, but Steve Kerr was like a GM for the
Mm.
Suns during that D'Antonio time,
Mm.
and so that quantified him, and he was an analyst. That gave him the carte blanche. That gave him the opportunity to be a
Yeah.
coach. I don't know. Like I don't know. Like now I'm looking at him. Like once you said, I was like, wait a second. So Steve Nash is following that same sort of that Steve Kerr world, and that makes him be a coach. Like that is, but Amari Stoudemire, yeah, it's two different players. Point guards might make better coaches. I get that, but like something about it just seems kind of weird. Now I think about it.
I'm gonna say this. This is what bugs me out with that's the Nets thing. When Jason Kidd became the new coach of the Nets, he hired his ex-coach. What was the redheaded coach that used to coach for the Nets? Fitch,
Lawrence
Lawrence
Frank.
Frank. Lawrence Frank.
Bro, how the
He
heck
had
did
him
Lawrence?
as Lawrence Frank.
He won executive of the year. He won executive of the year because he brought Kawhi over. He is trash. He was trash with the Nets. Like I don't understand why people treating him like he's the best thing in the world. I don't know how he still gets a job. Anyway, good.
So it's funny that I see Steve Nash following the same thing. Like, you know, a lot of people talk about, oh, you know how Steve Nash got a job with no head coaching experience and all that. And that. I was like, the team that did the exact same thing was the Nets, the Brooklyn Nets, when they did that with Jason Kidd. They put Jason Kidd on a team that was supposed to be built to make the finals. Even though, yeah, KD and Garnett and Pierce were older, but they had at the time a superstar, a player named D. Will, who was actually an elite point guard at the
And
time, and Joe Johnson.
Aaron
That's
Williams.
yeah,
Forgot about him.
yeah.
Check this out. I know not to mess up your point. Derrick Rose brothers makes up to $300,000 a year, as long as Derrick Rose is under that contract. All right, go ahead.
We need a hookup, baby.
Malarkey, shenanigans. I call shenanigans and malarkey. All right, go ahead.
So I see the Suns. I see the Nets are doing the same thing with the Suns. Now, do I think they should have? It's strange because when they hired Steve Nash, that was again like the Jason Kidd pick. The Jason Kidd coaching thing was that they needed a splash name, but now they got the real splash name with Mike D'Antoni. Because let's be honest, all of us expect Steve Nash to really be looking to D'Antoni and Jack Vaughn to really coach his team, which pretty much like when Steve Kerr was coaching the Warriors, it was really um oh goodness, what's his name? What's
Bro,
the old Pelicans coach, the old
ain't
Pelicans coach, and
nobody looking at Jack Vaughn like.
he coached them last year. He pretty much coached them through and everybody was pretty impressed by what he was doing. It was pretty much a given that he was still going to be on the team. That they was like, if Steve Nash didn't come up and say, "Hey, I'm looking to be a coach myself," I think it was pretty much a given that they were probably going to go with Jack Vaughn just to play it
Yo,
safe.
Kenny Atkinson did not deserve any of that crap. Like he should still be there. He should be on the
I
Nets. I mean
I
the
didn't
Knicks coach.
I didn't see why I didn't understand why he got fired. I didn't think when KD was out.
Kyrie did it. Kyrie
Yeah,
did it.
I did.
That
I really think if Atkinson can make D'Angelo Russell an All Star, I was like, what can he do with Kyrie? And let's be honest, the team stepped down this year because of injuries and players that just weren't there. But again, without him, we got to really see Spencer Dinwiddie and Chris LeVert. So who I think are going to really be could be really serious good NBA players, because every time somebody gets hurt on the Nets team, those are the two guys we all hear about. All of a sudden, these guys come out of nowhere and they can't stop scoring. So the Nets have always had, and under Kenny Atkinson. Let's see, Sean Kilpatrick was actually doing good. Again, Dinwiddie, Levert, and D'Angelo Russell. They constantly been having good teams. I just felt that I felt that yeah, they pulled the plug on that too early. I don't think that was a good idea, but we'll see how they run this year. I think they're going to be a 130-point scoring team, and they're also going to be giving up 128 points a game. So
crazy.
it's going to be crazy. So, all right, so we'll wrap up with that. Oh, let me ask you one last thing. I know we talked about Rutgers last week. Did you see
No,
the play?
I didn't.
The play, Rutgers refs were hating on Rutgers.
I don't even know what you said.
They
No,
had
I
an
didn't.
8-play score for what you call it? When you throw the football, you keep throwing the football back. Lateral. 8 play
Okay.
lateral for a touchdown. Like they got pulled back because they said there was a forward lateral that didn't happen. I saw that
Mm.
play like 4 times. I didn't see not one forward lateral in that play. In that play, so Rutgers lost to Indiana, but we'll still give it up. We see they doing something. They trying. So everybody, everybody, thanks for enjoying the show and the background, the, the background's crew in the background. Trying to keep them down for next week. So everybody, thank you for being with us. Again, follow us on social medias. Hit up all our merchandise. Everything will be in the description below. And y'all have a wonderful and great, safe week and enjoy the games.